Hey guys, Steve Simpson here with Central Florida Property Management. Hope everyone's doing well. We're a few days from Christmas here, so Merry Christmas everybody, Happy Holidays. I wanted to go over a question I get asked frequently from people calling about our services, which is how we handle maintenance requests. So I figured I'd just go over that, why we handle that way, all that good stuff. So maintenance request. We try to get most of our tenants to put maintenance requests in via our online tenant portal. It's a good way of being able to track, kind of what's going on. We can view photos. We have them upload photos and videos. Ask back and forth questions about trying to, dig down to the root of what's happening. As you can imagine, some tenants will just say, my toilet broke. Okay, well, what broke about it? Is it leaking water? What are the symptoms? Yada, yada, yada. So it's a good way for us to kind of get more info. Once we get that info, we'll send the appropriate vendor, get the vendor out there. And then in terms of reaching out to our owners, the nuts and bolts of it is we'll reach out to our client if there's a decision to make. Otherwise, we'll just take care of the issue. We do have in our management agreement what we call our price repair ceiling. It basically says that if a repair costs above a certain amount of money, we'll get owner approval prior to doing it. In practice, though, it really is about decisions to make. So, for example, let's say AC goes out. We send our AC tech out there, and he calls us and says, hey, it's a bad capacitor. It's like $150 to fix. We'll say, okay, go ahead. Why? There's really no choice to make. You're not going to replace your AC for $150. The AC has to start working, so if that's what it needs, we just do it, right? On the other hand, let's say he goes out there and he says, hey, it's a 13-year-old AC unit. It's going to be $1,000 worth of work to get done. You might want to think about replacing it. What we would do then is we get quotes to replace it. We get more info on as to exactly what's going on, and then give you a call and go over your options. Hey, here's a couple of quotes to replace the AC. Here's what your alternative would be. Here's what we think you should do, and ultimately let you make the decision on how to spend your money. The reason we do this is we have people ask us, well, can you call me for every maintenance repair? The reason we don't do that is because just from doing this for a while, we've experienced that it's pretty much self-defeating. It winds up in everyone being unhappy. So let me just use the last example with the AC thing. Let's say it is the bad capacitor. So a guy goes out there, says, hey, it's a bad capacitor, and our owner wants us to call us to get approval. Again, there's really nothing to approve. There's only one choice to make, right? But so we call the owner, can't get a hold of him. The vendor says, hey, I'll stay here 15 minutes, otherwise I have to leave. Owner calls us back a half hour later. He says, yep, go ahead and fix the capacitor. We call the AC vendor back. He says, hey, sorry, I just left. I got 6 more calls today. I can get back tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, I have to charge a second trip charge for going back tomorrow. So now the tenant's upset because they don't have AC. The owner's upset because they have to pay more money. And the vendor's upset because they have to go back to a job they should have been able to do while they were there to begin with. So literally nobody's happy. And really just so the owner has knowledge of every little thing kind of going on with the property. I realize I get, a lot of you guys don't live in Florida. You can't drive by your property, and you're putting a lot of faith in us to make the right decisions on your behalf. At the same time, that is what you're paying us for, our expertise, our knowledge of what to do, and your trust that we are acting in your best interest. So I know that's kind of a very long-winded explanation of how our maintenance process works, but I think it's a question I get asked frequently, and I think a lot of people are interested to know how and why we do that, and kind of the ins and outs of that. If you guys have any thoughts or questions or comments, please leave them below. I always love to hear back from everybody. And Merry Christmas, y'all.